Welcome to the Faster, Easier, Better show with your hosts Lee Silber and Ellen Goodwin.
Welcome to another episode of the Faster, Easier, Better show. I'm your co-host Ellen Goodwin, along with my co-host.
I'm really not afraid. That was me screaming in fear, but I fear not because I just gave a speech on overcoming fear and realized this doesn't suck, and so I wanted to share some of the highlights from that because I think the listeners will find that overcoming your fears is a huge time saver. We waste a lot of time worrying about things that really we could just do them, just do it, and adjust as you go and all this stuff. But I have other things to talk about. But in a nutshell, wasting time on fear.
Well, yeah. I mean, fear is one of the main causes of procrastination. So, I mean, you want to bring it to productivity and efficiency. If you're afraid of stuff, you're going to put off doing it. And there's nothing efficient about that. So let's say you jump in with your ideas and I'm going to follow because I've got some ideas as well.
This is a smart audience. We just need to give them, the main gist of it. We don't have to belabor the point, but we've talked about this before, but big is scary, small is doable, and little micro steps, micro movements, that's a sarcasm, but basically when we break things down to only take 5 seconds to start and 5 minutes to finish, or they're so small we can't not do it or we can't not fail, that's what we need to do with things that are big and scary.
Yeah, break it down, succeed early and often. Break it down into little bits. And each time you succeed, you want to succeed more. So, yeah, keep things small. And then what about like expecting the best, rather than being a fatalist and going, oh, you know what, I never do this right and I could never do it. Yeah, expect the best. Expect you're going to do a great job and you have less fear. Because, if I'm afraid to do it and because I'm not going to do it well, guess what? Maybe you're going to do it amazingly. So expect the best.
Yeah, and I'll tie in with that. I would say a lot of people are afraid of speaking in public or meeting strangers. Nobody wants you to bomb. No one wants you to lose your place and embarrass yourself. Everyone's pulling for you. And so expecting the best and that tie in together, meaning no one's expecting you to fail and no one wants you to fail. So that's our biggest concern. Well, what if I fail? Well, chances are you're going to be fine. You're going to do great, like you said. But also, no one wants that. They're pulling for you.
Exactly.
So don't fear they're not out there, trying to hope that you suck. It's not NASCAR where we're all waiting for a crash. We want to see success. It's painful for both people.
No one wants to see you crash.
Or conversation goes sideways. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me.
And then, sometimes we're afraid that people are going to think that we're a fraud. So just fake it until you make it. And I know people hear that all the time, but do your thing that you're afraid of, like you know what you're doing. And even if you don't, you're going to feel better. You're going to have more confidence. Fake it.
Some people, they need to, especially left-brainers, they need to have all their ducks in a row. They need to do all their, feel like they've scoured every little piece of information. And I have no problem with that as long as you put an end point on it and say, once I get to this time or this much, I can only go 10 deep on Google or some limit to it.
Right.
But the point of that is that you could walk in a room saying, I know more about this topic than anyone else in this room. And that kind of confidence makes the fear subside. You're prepared. You practice. All those practice, preparation, and planning help you to have less fear. And although they take some time, in the end, it's worth it for some people. Some people would much prefer to not know too much and just go out there and just start. Let me just get going, and then I know it'll come to me. But for a lot of people, when you are prepared, you've practiced, and you have a plan, and you've done your homework, you've eliminated a lot of the reasons why you're afraid.
Yeah, I mean, what you were talking about in writing, they call that the difference between a plotter or a pantser. And the pantser is just doing stuff by the seat of their pants, and a plotter is a planner. And we got more P words there. So you were all like plan, perform, but pantsers and plotter. Yeah. But yes, it's the preparation makes the difference.
And when you walk into a room and you're confident you've done all your homework, it's also true that if you're afraid of something and you're not sure why, and you do the facts, I'm afraid of flying, right? Let's say, actually, I'm just afraid of the plane not flying anymore. Not that I'm afraid of flying, but people who are afraid of flying, if you do Southwest has never lost a passenger. No one's ever died on a Southwest flight. And your chances of being in some sort of an incident on a plane where you were injured or died are so infinitesimally small that just knowing the numbers sometimes helps to ease your fear. Fear is sometimes called false evidence appearing real,
Right.
and sometimes our fears are irrational. And if you can make it rational, okay, yeah, why am I so afraid of being attacked by a shark? I have 1 in 3.7 million chances. But if I surf in a place with a bloody leg, which I did, and got bumped by a shark, yeah, I could expect to be one of those weird statistics.
Okay, that's a story we haven't heard, and we're going to save that for the shark
Yeah.
episode. Well, for our Shark Week episode.
Good call.
But you're right that your chances of being eaten by a shark are much higher than mine, just because I haven't been on a surfboard in almost 20 years. But you're right. Break things down. Look at the numbers. Look at the facts. Help your fear to go away.
And sometimes the fear, it's in your head, right? We could do all the facts and stuff. But when you're standing on a ledge looking down, 50 feet and you're going to jump, I mean, your hands sweat, you sweat, so although it sounds very hokey, it really works. Breathing is one of the keys to at least to ease the physical part of it, right?
Exactly.
Someone described it as, let's see, it was something. Breathe in the flowers, blow out the candles. Meaning, but you take in a deep breath and you blow out. I mean, just doing that a few times as woohoo as it sounds, it works.
But you know what it does, and from it, you're breathing slowly and controlled, and you can't do that when you're afraid. If you're in fight or flight response, you're obviously going to breathe really fast, and so your whole body is in this fear mode. But you can't be afraid and breathe slowly. So when you breathe slowly, you signal to your brain you're in a safe zone. Things are fine. And so do that deep breathing. That's a wonderful way.
I can do this show. Oh, wait, we already
We
did.
did.
Over. Great episode.
Great episode. So thank you for listening. Be sure and follow, like, and review, and be back again next week for another episode of the Faster, Easier, Better Show.